Here's something most people don't realize. Your brain can lose hundreds of neurons every single night, silently, without any warning signs. Whether you're sleeping soundly, tossing and turning, or somewhere in between. Once inflammation and cellular stress take hold, the deterioration continues quietly, neuron by neuron. I'm not sharing this to alarm you. I'm sharing it because there's something you can do about it. After decades of observing cognitive changes in older adults, one pattern emerges clearly. This isn't simply about getting older. It's about what your brain receives, or doesn't receive, during those critical evening hours. Most people imagine memory decline as something dramatic and sudden, like waking up one morning completely disoriented. But the reality is far more gradual. You can't remember where you left your keys. You enter a room with purpose, then stand there wondering why. You read a paragraph, and by the time you finish, the beginning has vanished from your mind. It's subtle. It's maddening. And for countless individuals over 60, it's unfolding every single night. Not because they haven't worked hard to stay mentally sharp, but because nobody explained this fundamental truth. Your brain doesn't deteriorate at night due to age alone. It deteriorates from nutritional deprivation. It needs glucose for energy. It craves antioxidants for protection. And most critically, it requires specific nutrients that shield your neurons during sleep. That's the focus of this video. Not pharmaceutical solutions, not cognitive training apps, but real accessible food. Fruits you can purchase at any grocery store, perhaps already resting in your fruit bowl, that can quietly repair neural tissue, enhance memory function, and potentially reduce cognitive decline risk while you sleep. I'm not discussing rare, exotic superfoods. I'm talking about bananas, apples, and oranges. 3 fruits you've encountered countless times but probably never considered as nighttime brain medicine. Emerging research suggests that evening nutrition might be even more influential than daytime eating patterns, particularly for brain health. In this video, I'll demonstrate precisely how these 3 fruits function, what compounds they contain, how they safeguard brain cells, and how you can implement them tonight to wake up with greater clarity, sharper thinking, and improved focus. If this is your first visit here, welcome to Seniorhealth Compass. If you value your cognitive function, your memory, your vision, and your long-term autonomy, subscribe and stay through to the conclusion. We approach health information differently here. Now let's examine the first fruit closely, one you've likely consumed hundreds of times, but never at the optimal moment, because timing matters just as much as selection. Bananas, refueling your brain's chemical reserves. The aging brain isn't malfunctioning. It's simply undernourished. Bananas may appear ordinary, but they deliver one of nature's most effective combinations for overnight neural support, particularly when consumed at the proper time. For seniors, this timing creates all the difference. This fruit provides abundant vitamin B6, a nutrient your brain requires to manufacture essential neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, and GABA. These chemicals don't merely influence mood. They're fundamental to creating, storing, and accessing memories. As we age, natural neurotransmitter production decreases. That's when names become elusive, conversations drift away, and mental sharpness diminishes, especially following poor sleep. Bananas help replenish the brain's neurochemical reserves so it can process and retain information effectively, even during sleep. But their benefits extend further. They supply magnesium, which research shows can calm hyperactive neurons, decrease nighttime brain excitability, and promote deep-wave sleep, the phase where the brain conducts cellular repair and consolidates memories. A research study published in 2020 in the journal Nutrients observed that seniors with elevated magnesium and B6 consumption before bedtime demonstrated superior short-term recall and more balanced mood patterns the following morning. The researchers determined that nutrient timing could significantly influence cognitive resilience among older populations. Additionally, bananas contain tryptophan, an amino acid that converts into serotonin and melatonin, two compounds deeply involved in memory processing and brain restoration during sleep. Serotonin improves synaptic transmission, while melatonin stimulates the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, a protein essential for neuron survival and development. Simply put, bananas establish the conditions your brain needs to heal itself, not merely rest. Consider this example. Robert, a former financial advisor, mentioned feeling mentally sluggish and disorganized each morning. He began consuming a banana 1 hour before bed for 2 weeks. No supplements, no drastic lifestyle changes. After the second week, he reported, "It's like my brain engages faster. I don't lose track of my thoughts like I used to." For seniors, that's not just enhancement, that's preserving independence. To maximize banana benefits, consume one small to medium-ripe banana approximately 45 to 60 minutes before sleep. Select one with a few brown spots, as ripening increases available magnesium and tryptophan. If you're worried about blood sugar elevation, combine it with a few almonds to moderate absorption. Avoid substantial meals, dairy products, or caffeine near this time, as they may disrupt melatonin production and diminish brain-calming signals. The advantage of bananas isn't their novelty, it's their reliability. A consistent delivery of precisely the compounds your brain needs at exactly the moment it needs them most. This isn't biohacking. It's biological nourishment. Gentle, natural, dependable. Exactly what the aging mind requires. Now, if bananas refill your neurochemical reserves, what happens when you simultaneously eliminate the brain's oxidative debris? That's where apples enter the picture. Apples. Cleansing your brain's cellular environment. If bananas refuel the brain, apples purify it. This familiar fruit conceals an extraordinary capability. Within the skin of every apple exists a blend of antioxidants, polyphenols, and flavonoids, compounds that serve a vital function in defending brain tissue from oxidative stress, a leading cause of memory deterioration and mental decline in older individuals. As we age, free radicals accumulate throughout the brain. These unstable molecules harm neurons, degrade the protective myelin coating, and disrupt synaptic communication. The outcome: slower cognition, weakened recall, and elevated risk of cognitive disorders. Apples counteract this damage. They're particularly abundant in quercetin, a flavonoid concentrated in the skin. Quercetin functions as a neuroprotective barrier, reducing inflammation in the hippocampus, the brain's memory headquarters, and decelerating the advancement of oxidative damage. A 2017 investigation in experimental gerontology discovered that quercetin supplementation in aged laboratory subjects significantly maintained cognitive performance and hippocampal flexibility, indicating its capacity to combat age-related memory deterioration. What's particularly noteworthy is that the amounts used were comparable to what you'd obtain from consuming a single apple daily. But antioxidants represent only part of the equation. Apples are also rich in soluble fiber, especially pectin, which has been demonstrated to nourish gut bacteria that generate short-chain fatty acids like butyrate. These molecules are now understood to cross the blood-brain barrier and stimulate BDNF release, a protein vital for new brain cell formation and memory preservation. The gut-brain connection isn't theoretical anymore. It's a validated communication pathway, and apples are among the few fruits that work on both ends of that pathway, nourishing the gut and reconstructing the brain. One 2021 human investigation, published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, found that older adults who ate 2 apples daily over 12 weeks displayed enhanced executive function and verbal memory alongside reduced markers of systemic inflammation. Even more fascinating, apples contain catechins, another category of antioxidants also present in green tea that supports cerebral circulation. Improved blood flow means increased oxygen and nutrients delivered to active neurons, particularly during nighttime when the brain eliminates metabolic waste and consolidates learning. Collectively, These compounds form a multi-layered support system. They diminish inflammation. They encourage neurogenesis. They strengthen communication between neurons. And they accomplish this without adverse effects, supplements, or gimmicks. But timing is crucial. For optimal impact on brain function, apples should be consumed in the evening, but not immediately before sleep. The ideal window is 1.5 to 2 hours before bedtime, allowing the antioxidants to circulate and the fiber to begin fermenting in the gut. Select apples with red or dark skins such as Gala, Fuji, or Red Delicious, as these contain higher concentrations of quercetin and polyphenols. Don't peel them. The skin contains most of the brain protective compounds. One fruit, one practice, and a cascade of effects that flow through your neural networks overnight. When combined with a calming fruit like banana, apples help establish the perfect biochemical environment for the brain to restore itself quietly, efficiently, and naturally. But we're not finished yet. There's one more fruit, vibrant, juicy, and loaded with vitamin C that completes this nightly combination. Let's discuss oranges. Oranges. Protecting your brain's defense systems. The brain doesn't merely decline with age, it oxidizes. At the cellular level, every memory, every choice, every thought generates oxidative waste. And unless that waste gets cleared, it accumulates, damaging neurons, disrupting neurotransmitters, and hastening cognitive deterioration. This is where oranges prove invaluable. Often dismissed as merely immune support, oranges are among the most brain-protective fruits available, especially for seniors. Their strength resides in a single nutrient, vitamin C. Your brain maintains the highest vitamin C concentration in your entire body. But there's a critical limitation. It cannot store it. That means even one night without sufficient vitamin C can leave the brain exposed to oxidative damage and inflammation. Vitamin C is a powerful antioxidant, but its brain function extends much deeper. It's indispensable for synthesizing dopamine and norepinephrine, two crucial neurotransmitters involved in motivation, alertness, and concentration. Without adequate vitamin C, these pathways begin deteriorating, resulting in fatigue, mental fog, and compromised short-term memory. A 2020 investigation in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience discovered that seniors with higher vitamin C consumption scored substantially higher on cognitive function assessments, particularly in tasks involving attention span and processing velocity. And the benefits continue. Vitamin C also protects the blood-brain barrier, a critical checkpoint that filters toxins and pathogens from reaching the brain. As we age, this barrier becomes increasingly vulnerable. Oranges help strengthen it, reducing the likelihood of inflammatory molecules penetrating and disturbing delicate brain circuits. Another protective layer comes from hesperidin, a flavonoid found in orange pulp and peel. Hesperidin has been shown to enhance cerebral blood flow, transporting more oxygen and nutrients to active neurons during sleep. In a 2019 investigation published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, older adults who consumed citrus flavonoids daily experienced improved brain perfusion and enhanced episodic memory after just 8 weeks. This proves especially important overnight when the brain enters glymphatic clearance, a process that eliminates waste like beta-amyloid and tau proteins, both linked with neurodegeneration. Oranges support this process by ensuring blood vessels remain open, neurons stay protected, and chemical signals remain intact. Real people notice the difference. Elizabeth, who struggled maintaining mental clarity after dinner, began eating orange slices 2 hours before bed. After just 10 days, she shared, "I wake up with clear thinking again. It's like someone removed the fog from my mind." To achieve these benefits, choose fresh oranges, not processed juice. The fiber in whole fruit moderates sugar absorption and optimizes the delivery of hesperidin and vitamin C to the brain. Consume half to 1 orange roughly 90 minutes before bedtime, ideally paired with a small portion of healthy fat like a few seeds or nuts, to enhance nutrient absorption. The pith, that white layer beneath the skin, contains abundant flavonoids, so don't remove it too aggressively. Avoid combining with caffeine, chocolate, or heavy starches, which may interfere with nighttime clearance and delay vitamin transport. Vitamin C isn't just for immunity. It's a neurological ally working silently during sleep to eliminate brain fog, restore attention, and maintain mental clarity. Now that you understand how bananas, apples, and oranges each fulfill a distinct role in overnight brain recovery, it's time to integrate them. Next, I'll present a straightforward nightly fruit protocol designed to nourish your neurons before you sleep. Creating your evening brain nourishment routine. Knowledge alone doesn't transform your brain. Implementation does. After learning how bananas replenish neurotransmitters, apples eliminate oxidative debris, and oranges protect with vitamin C, the next question is straightforward. How do you convert this into a sustainable routine? The brain flourishes on consistency, particularly regarding nighttime recovery processes. Unlike the heart or muscles, the brain doesn't regenerate well amid chaos. It requires a predictable rest window, clean nutrients, and the proper biochemical environment to repair and reset itself overnight. A 2022 analysis in Neuroscience and Biobehavioral Reviews emphasized that nutrient timing equals nutrient type in importance for cognitive health in older adults. In other words, consuming the right foods at the right time can determine the brain's capacity to consolidate memory and reduce age-related cognitive decline. This explains why the evening routine matters. The objective isn't overwhelming the brain with nutrients immediately before sleep, but priming internal systems 1 to 2 hours before your bedtime. That provides your digestive system time to process and deliver necessary compounds to your brain precisely when it begins its deep repair cycle. Here's the implementation strategy. Start with half a ripe banana approximately 1 hour before bed. This provides your brain access to magnesium, tryptophan, and vitamin B6, key elements in producing serotonin and melatonin, which initiate sleep and memory processing. Next, about 90 minutes before sleep, consume half to 1 small red apple. The fiber and antioxidants from the peel begin circulating, reducing inflammation and activating neurogenesis-promoting compounds like quercetin and pectin. Finally, around the 2-hour mark, enjoy half of a fresh orange or several orange segments. The vitamin C and hesperidin get absorbed and begin protecting the blood-brain barrier while enhancing circulation, 2 factors that powerfully influence sleep-related memory consolidation. If digestion proves sensitive, these fruits can be distributed across the early evening. For instance, the orange could accompany dinner, followed by an apple as a light after-dinner snack, and the banana last. Avoid combining them with heavy meals, caffeine, or dairy, which can disrupt the absorption and timing of key brain compounds. In a 2021 clinical investigation published in Brain Sciences, researchers discovered that combining antioxidant-rich foods like berries, citrus, and apples produced greater improvements in verbal recall and processing speed than consuming them separately. This suggests that synergy between different phytonutrients amplifies cognitive effects, supporting the fruit combination approach. To make this practice sustainable, prepare your fruit beforehand. Wash your apple and orange earlier in the day. Slice the banana just before eating. Keep portions moderate. You're nourishing your brain, not filling your stomach. Avoid transforming it into dessert. No honey, no whipped cream, no sugar-laden fruit combinations. This isn't indulgence. It's a therapeutic protocol. And maintain consistency. The brain responds to rhythm. A regular evening fruit routine helps establish circadian alignment, which supports sleep efficiency, hormonal balance, and cognitive resilience. According to a 2020 article in Aging Research Reviews, individuals maintaining consistent evening eating patterns showed lower markers of cognitive aging over a 5-year period. This transcends memory. It's about preserving your identity, your capacity to recall your children's names, navigate your community, follow conversations, or learn something new without frustration. And it begins with something as fundamental as selecting the right fruit at the right time. Now, let's bring everything together. In this final section, I'll share some thoughts that I hope remain with you, not just tonight, but for years to come. Your brain's future starts tonight. If you've reached this point, I want to share something that many people over 60 don't hear frequently enough. You're not damaged, you're not deteriorating, and you are not helpless. Yes, memory evolves with age. Yes, the brain experiences changes. But that's not the conclusion of your story. It never was. What your brain needs right now isn't another supplement regimen or complex mental training program. It needs rest, nutrients, and consistent care. And remarkably, the things that rebuild your memory aren't hidden behind prescriptions or expensive treatments. They're in your kitchen. They're in a bowl on your counter. They're growing in the same earth our ancestors relied upon. A ripe banana, a crisp apple, a fresh orange. Simple, familiar, and validated by science to protect the brain, fuel neurotransmitters, and help you wake up sharper than you felt the night before. So, if you've been forgetting more recently, if your thoughts feel more labored, your mornings feel heavier, your conversations feel harder to track, understand this. You are not losing your mind. You are discovering a new form of agency, one that begins with understanding how the brain truly functions, one that's reinforced by simple actions performed consistently, and one that builds night after night from choices you can make starting immediately. Because memory isn't merely about retaining facts, it's about retaining who you are. And that is always worth safeguarding. Thank you for remaining with me until the end. I understand your time is precious, and the fact that you've invested these moments learning about your brain means you're already progressing forward. If this video provided hope or a new approach you hadn't considered before, I invite you to like this video, share it with someone you care about, and comment below. Even just one sentence about what you're going to implement tonight. And if this content resonates with you, I'd appreciate having you as part of this community. Subscribe to Senior Health Compass and stay connected. We're just beginning. Your brain still has tremendous potential ahead. You simply need to give it the opportunity to demonstrate what it can do.